Oh, League of Legends, how you remind me of what it means to be a rock star. Strap in, everyone. This episode's got song title puns. Welcome to Season 2019. The LCS is starting up on Saturday, and the ranked season at home has already begun. Here's what you need to know about what's changed in League of Legends since we all watched Worlds together. Ultimately, the game is paced differently. Up first, the laning phase is longer. How much longer? Well, in the words of Chad Kroger, look at this graph. Turrets don't die as quickly. For the first 14 minutes of the game, they now have 5 sets of turret plating, which can grant them a lot of bonus armor and magic resist. Though it might not be intuitive, turrets that have lost some plating have more resists than full health ones. Beyond that, anytime turret plating falls, it gains even more armor and MR for a few seconds if it's being assaulted by more than one enemy champion. This bonus can stack for multiple broken plates and lasts 20 seconds each. Either way, damaged or not, at 14 minutes the turret plating falls off and they're back to being super duper squishy. This means you'll see laning phases last a few minutes longer, and that helpful turret pal is going to save teams from dives just a little bit more. But again, at the end of those 14 minutes, these stationary bags of gold are going to be ripe for the taking, and it won't take more than a strong sense of greed to earn that sweet, sweet 500 gold you get for killing an outer turret. Speaking of gold, turret plating is worth it. There's 5 plates in total worth 160 gold each, so if teams are able to deal with the substantially tankier turrets, they can cash in for way more than a nickel back. Teams will have some interesting decisions on their hands. If they're winning a lane or get a gank to force their opponents far away, they'll have to choose between cashing in on a turret plate or two, or simply matching the recall to stay ahead in items and health. Junglers that stay might give up control of unclaimed jungle camps, so they'll have to make sure their opponents haven't figured you out when this happens. And by you, I mean the jungle pathing. More important things in the early game. Elemental Drakes start spawning 5 minutes in, which, though it is slower than before, give a lot more stats on their first and second stacks, especially for the underappreciated ones like Cloud Drake. So not only do teams have to weigh turret plating against recalling someday, but also whether or not those early Drakes are singing them a sweet lullaby. Alright, so we've got lots of different macro level options in the early game, which again is longer in general. What about playing the mid game and transitioning toward late? Well, minions got buffed. First of all, they are tankier. Now, it's not much different in the early game before these outer turrets fall, but later on you're seeing minion waves with about 25% more total health. Most of this gain is in the melee and cannon minions, meaning simple area of effect spells aren't going to clear away these tankier minions as easily as before. In fact, minions are also more threatening. As with their health, it's not a lot different in the early game, but as time pushes on, minion waves eventually have 50% more DPS in a full wave. So even if you're not having the best of games, just getting some alone time with the enemy turret and your little brainless pals might be enough to take down some structures. There are a few other changes to the minions as well. Cannon minions spawn more frequently in the mid game, and minions overall move quite a bit faster so that teams can transition from one turret to the next more easily. The overall goal with these changes is that if you've got a solid lead, you shouldn't need Baron all the time to take down those pesky turrets. Or, if you win a team fight from behind, your team is able to get more than just shutdown gold for your efforts. Now, let's talk about neutral objectives. Overall, their respawn rates have gotten faster. Drakes have gone from 6 minutes down to 5, while Baron, Nashor, and Elder Dragons respawn every 6, which is a fair bit quicker for those late game objectives. This to me means more in pro than it does in solo queue, but if you are chaining Baron buffs together, it's 3.5 minutes on, 2.5 minutes off. You should be able to get a lot done with that kind of power. One last set of changes are related to comebacks. First, turrets have gained quite a bit of extra damage to champions, as high as 50% more in some cases. Second, the gold bounty on shutting down a champion with a kill streak of 4 or higher has gone up a little bit. So even though there have been a lot of changes to help winning teams end the game, there is a fighting chance from behind when we stand together. One botched tower dive could be worth several thousand gold in shutdown bonuses, and that might be the edge needed to fight back into the game. Ultimately, these preseason changes have tried to do 4 main things. Up first, laning phase should be longer and contain some more macro level decision making around taking plates or drakes or recalling. Second, the mid game should be more eventful with minions that are better and thus more effective at helping you push down objectives without support from epic monsters. If a team is winning by so much that the game is a snowball, it should probably just end. Third, the late game has much faster respawns on the epic monsters of Baron and Elder Dragon, so if it does come down to a stalemate, there's more to fight over more frequently. And lastly, every game's gotta have somebody who always votes no and says it's winnable. Maybe you had that this afternoon. Well, chances are they might just be right. Turrets do a better job of defending their champions, and shutting down someone who's ahead is gonna be worth more. Now get out there and kick some butt. And for those of you who are on the pun search, there's about 10 of them, so you gotta catch them all. I'll leave you all with this prediction. I predict LCS starts back up this Saturday, January 26th. And more boldly, Korea is gonna win Worlds. See you next time.